easy hero to play.
Yeah, especially with the lineup that RSGMY has specifically, getting these big catches on primary targets, like Claude for an example, because Claude can easily just take Purified to get out of the way to the Dragon to be fair, but knowing Loliels, I think he might greed out here.
Could greed out. Claudes do sometimes like going for the average just to find.
Jump into the land of Dawn. For all intents and purposes, for everybody out there watching from any MPL, this is going to be a standardized rule. If you notice on the top right-hand side of our screen soon, you will see the version of patch that we are playing on. And it's important to notice that we are playing on 1.699. Later in the season, there will be updates. However, there is going to be a big patch coming out down later in this season that we will not update to, and all teams have agreed to make sure that they play before the emblem changes.
Indeed, that's going to be quite something to look forward to here. But starting things off with this game, so far, it does look like Sasa is going to be able to win out in this lane. We already predicted this. Beatrix is a very difficult matchup for the Claude. In terms of emblems as well, I can see that the teams are actually going a little bit greedy. Hawk having the Avarice on Matilda, and even Smooth, interestingly, going for the same emblem on Phoveus.
Interesting. He's going to get average. I guess he wants to trade. He knows that the trades are going to happen. He can minimize that damage, and he wants to be able to profit off of it, right? I think that's the sentiment here when he's playing the lane. However, Box and Kuza, the 50-50 didn't work out in Box's favor, and Kuza now hitting level 4 slightly earlier and has the better clear speed compared to Yakai.
Somehow that just seemed like such a wholesome scene, though. Both junglers just farming the same camp at the same time, right next to each other without trying to whack each other. That is nice, but now Noir in the bottom lane, trying to get a stun onto Loliels. Guiding wins though, gets him out safely.
Yeah, and now Sasa, he's got a considerable EXP lead onto Loliels, so I can understand that Loliels is calling in for Hawk to actually help him out with the lane, get him a couple of waves, because once it's level 4, it doesn't really matter at that stage. I don't think Loliels wants to trade too hard against Beatrix.
So far, we can see the first turtle of the game has officially spawned up top, and both teams are playing very closely around it. Demonic Force already popped down, doing a lot of damage to Kuza as the heavy spin gonna be pinning HYHY against the wall, but Tamis, not an easy hero to take down. We are now 4v3, first blood, going over the hate as he draws the first kill of the game in a brand new MPL.
Nicely done. He might get a second one here. He's looking for Kuza, predicts it well, gets a second. That's a double here, already achieved by Hate. Box and as well as Smooth, making sure that they have their eyes set on the goal, take the turtle down.
Hate making an impact. Obviously, our import player from MPL Philippines already showing his stuff. The first 2 kills of the day and first blood of the game, giving a very handy 1.8k gold lead instantly to Team SMG.
I mean, really good plays coming in from Hate. He's getting some good predictions down in the movement of Kuza, netting him a double kill. But now where do they transition this lead, right? They've gotten the turtle, and the question is, do they want to press their advantage or do they want to kind of slow things down? Let's keep an eye on Noir specifically, because he's helping out Sasa in a winning lane.
Yeah, that's gonna be really painful for Loliels. He already has such a rough time farming on this Claude, and it is very important for RSGMY that Loliels gets the farm he needs. He is their late game safety check, basically their win condition, but now HYHY in a bit of trouble.
Yep, Demonic Force already procced here. Can he actually catch him with the Eye of Astaroth? He finds it, and HYHY pops his ult, as well as Vengeance sees Hate. He can't seem to run away in time as Smooth slowly chunks him down. They might just go for the tower dive here. If he lands inside, yes, he does. Ooh. And that just means that Hate gets to knock him down. Man, Hate does not miss.
Yeah, absolutely not. Living up to his namesake right now. You can feel the hate for the enemy team. He is going to chase them down to the ends of the earth. And Smooth doing such a good job of keeping HYHY under lock and key with that Demonic Force. That was perfect spacing of his cooldowns to make sure that the Tamis would never get too far away.
Yep, nicely done. And Smooth now getting significantly ahead in the lane. I think it's going to be really tough for HYHY to take these trades now that Smooth did get his Clock of Destinies. So I think he's got like a 2-minute timer before these trades get really bad for HYHY.
Yeah, and you never want to be in that situation when you are playing on a Tamus. This is a hero that should be able to hold lane with no problem and even pick up kills here and there. Right now, he's sitting on a 0-2-0 kill score, and with the turtle coming back up, that means that he's most likely not going to be able to provide his team a hand in taking this next objective.
Loliel with a recent purchase of the Demon Hunter sword. They're slowly wrapping around, making sure they take the space for the turtle so far. Purple buff is still up, but Kuza doesn't need it. This is a more important objective to take. Both XP laners are going to be rotating down, but here comes the initial attack coming in from Noir. He doesn't find the way of the dragon as the real war manipulation comes down. It's going to be Box who finds the initial take, but HYHY has to hold on, pops his vengeance to survive. Demonic Force and Smooth plays this well. Top 3 out. HYHY almost dying here. He wants more, but he can't finish them off with the Demonic Force. That's Smooth going down. Izanami playing it well with the help of Hawk, and Hate going to continue trying to run down anybody he can find. Another real war manipulation. Hate survives, and that could have been so much worse for RSGMY, but they walk away with a single kill.
Honestly, that was just excellently played by both teams. Box already, we know, even from his days in Suhas Esports, is really good at those retribution timings. And when you combine that with the heavy spin to push away Kuza, he can basically guarantee the turtle. Not to mention Smooth and Sasa doing massive damage to the rest of RSGMY. But they were able to actually disengage from that very effectively, making sure to use their dashes to try and force Smooth into the tower instead of allowing him to get easy pickoffs.
I think Smooth played that as good as it gets, right? I mean, he was using the iframes from the Demonic Force to dodge some significant abilities like the Molten Scythe, and arguably when the real world manipulation came down, he took a couple of hits before disappearing and reappearing on the enemy on his targeted enemies. However, they were so low. It could have been so good for Team SMG. That was almost guaranteed 3 kills, but they couldn't get in on their targets. I mean, Hate especially had to take his black shoes super early on.
Yeah, I think that is just props to RSGMY. Like you said, that should have been a total dominating fight from Team SMG, so the fact that they were able to plan out their escape route well enough to get out is just real props. But another fight is now starting. Sasa gonna be focused down by the Blazing Duet as Box gonna get caught out in the backline. Real world manipulation. He wants the Beatrix, but the Flicker gets Sasa out. HYHY looking for the Beatrix in the backline. Hate dealing 1v3. Does he have black shoes? Yes, he does. He gets back. Loliel's gonna be able to TP out with the Battle Mirror image as Noir gets the kick off the Kuza into the Demonic Force. Hawk dropping real low. Astro's Eye gonna find him in the back line as Kuza gonna get picked off. Smooth not quite done. He's still following him. Matilda gonna get carried out. Loliel's being chased down by Noir. Misses the flicker, but Smooth picks up the kill onto Izanami. Noir, does he still want to go for this? Loliel's looking very juicy right now. He's actually gonna choose to recall under the tower. Noir, he's gonna let him go.
Oh my goodness. Finally, they get those retribution kills from earlier, taking 3 down, and Smooth, my god, he lives up to his name. Didn't take the Demonic Force. Let Izanami feel safe running away before taking him out with a flame shot all over again. It's not as easy as it looks, because I would have absolutely tapped the Demonic Force for sure.
Yeah, me as well. It just speaks to the discipline that these players have to be able to make those sort of split-second decisions. And although RSGMY has been doing a good job of responding to Team SMG's aggression, the net worth lead for Team SMG has now expanded to 4,000.
Can we also talk about Hate's fancy footwork earlier? 1v3ing 3 members of RSGMY, but hold up, hold that thought. It's Team SMG looking for an opportunity to punish, but no, it is read by HYHY. He backs off, and bottom tier 1 is going to get traded for top tier 1 between Team SMG and RSGMY.
I think this is good macro decision making from RSGMY. Yes, they will end up losing a whole lane of towers, but when they are behind at this stage of the game, they have to make those trades, recognizing that most of Team SMG is in the bottom lane. They decide to make the move up top.
Well, looking up on top side, I mean, RSGMY is specifically sticking together. They refuse to kind of split up now, and they're telling HYHY he's got to be really careful, because now Team SMG are making these macro team plays, right? They're looking to isolate these fights. They're looking to look for pick-offs against RSGMY, and the only person who can get them out of these tough situations is Hawk, and there's only just one of him.
Yeah, Hawk can only do so much to be able to save his teammates from getting caught out. And speaking of that, Noir gets the kick onto Kuza, but he's 1v4 right now. He doesn't want to overstay his welcome. A few well-placed blasts from Hate will make sure that RSG can't chase them down.
Yeah, for now, I think it's going to be stalemated for a while, and Team SMG playing very similarly to how they were in the regular season of Season 9. They like to take their time, they've got a lead, maintain that lead, and wait for the right timings.
Yeah, timing right now is going to be very important because the Lord has now spawned onto the Land of Dawn for the very first time. Now, this is not a Luminous Lord, so even if RSGMY were to give this away to Team SMG, it is not too big in terms of damage. But they need to make sure that they're able to buy enough space for Laliels to continue getting farm because their win condition right now is pretty behind as compared to Sasa.
You know what, speaking of which, let's pull up the item list real quick just so we can have an idea of where they are in their build. I'm curious to see how far Loliels is because I think he recently purchased a golden staff at some point and he should be able to start dishing out some serious damage now. Alright, yes. So now he just has to full stack his Art of Thievery and maybe we could potentially see a turnaround for RSGMY.
But we can also see that Sasa has gone for a second item, Wind of Nature. Blazing Duet gonna drop Hate down real low right into the real world manipulation. Kuza buying a lot of space as Noir jumps in the backline at the count. Izanami guiding wins! Not enough to get him away from the demonic force. And Team SMG pick up a single casualty from the opponent's side, forcing RSG to give up the Lord.
Oh, it's a 3-for-4 ult trade here, and it's not looking good for RSGMY. I feel bad. Honestly, I feel really bad for Izanami. Oh, hold on. Kuza gets hit by Box with a body slam. Hate walks right into the Shield Unity, but Kuza's going to get away with the help of Hawk as they sit right on top as they juggle aggro and sacrifice their mid-tier 1. And RSGMY, knowing that they have lost the Lord, decide to go for the map play.
Team SMG is absolutely terrifying right now because if we just look at the way that they are taking these team fights, it is so coordinated and so surgical. RSG, they have a team lineup that requires them to play a big front-to-back death ball. They need to make sure that HY and Kuza are taking most of the heat to ensure that the backline isn't being caught out. But Noir and Smooth are making that so difficult for them simply because of how well they can play around this positioning. And then they also have to think about how much damage Hate is doing on this Lilia.
Yeah, and I mean, Izanami, unfortunately, even though he did have that support system, was getting bounced around, trying to get back to the guiding winds, but getting knocked by the heavy spin, and then initially getting pushed away by Smooth's flame shot, and on top of the fact that he was getting kicked by Noir, he was basically a ping pong ball.
Yeah, but now the Lord gonna be pushing into the base. This is not Luminous, but it's poised to do a lot of damage. Blazing Duet literally doing nothing to all of Team SMG, forcing Loliels back the tower. Gonna drop down as Heavy Spin, unfortunately, will not find any stragglers. Team SMG, they should be quite satisfied with this.
When you were asking about the Heavy Spin proccing Demonic Force, considering it a dash, were you talking about if you were up against it or if you get hit by it?
Get hit by it.
Because we get confirmation right now that when you are hit by the heavy blow, you will proc that Demonic Force.
That is really annoying for RSGMY. Just so many free Demonic Force procs, and now with the Beatrix just constantly poking down these towers. This is the strength of this hero. Despite all the nerfs, still in meta, able to take down these objectives from so far away. That has to be frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, RSGMY hit the 32k power spike, but Team SMG are way beyond that. They've hit 38k, and now with a third item already done and dusted, they're looking to get their fourth. And RSGMY, this is a ticking time bomb. With such a low kill count, Team SMG are on the cusp of turning this game onto RSGMY's heads. With the Lord advantage push, able to get 2.8k gold off of it. Ooh, a 4k lead now to 6k. This next 38 seconds is going to be important for RSGMY.
I feel like we have to highlight that they did 25,000 tower damage with the first Lord of the game. That is ridiculous. You usually expect this first Lord to just die without doing much at all when you are in an even state. The fact that Team SMG were able to push in, take 2 inhibitor towers and not lose anyone, they are firmly in the driver's seat.
I mean, when you're looking at RSG MY's composition, not a lot of them have effective wave clearing mechanics. Like Lolios, yes, he can clear waves technically, but how many of his resources is he going to expend? Izanami, great at clearing waves. HY can kind of clear waves, kind of in the same situation as Lolios. Hawk can't really do the job. Kuza also can't really do the job.
We can see from their items as well that basically everyone on RSGMY is currently working on a physical defense item. They recognize that Sasa is becoming a problem, but this is not... Oh my goodness! Kuza, where did you go? Lolios jumps in with the Blazing Duet, but Wind of Nature gonna keep Sasa alive as Smooth buys time with Hate in the backline. RSG can do nothing as Hawk is chased back to his base by Smooth.
This is going to guarantee that Team SMG takes the Lord, and this is a Luminous 112 minutes, and I think this is going to be checkmate very, very soon, as Team SMG will now press their advantage with their 8k gold lead 14 minutes into the game.
This is rough for them. With 8,000 net worth difference, this is already reaching the point of no return for Team SMG. If the difference was still a little bit lower, it would be difficult, but there is still potential for RSG to claw their way back. Right now, as long as Team SMG doesn't make a major mistake, this game is basically as good as won.
Yep. Now, they're synchronizing the waves, but more importantly, they're forcing RSGMY backwards. They want to take that very final inhibitor turret, and they can easily do so. And in the process, they can actually get a couple of shots off onto key targets. And Sasa, he's just going to take his time with this. He could sit here and shoot it all day long. Anybody want a body block and take at least 1k damage? Be my guest, as the Luminous Lord makes his way to the crystal.
Fox gonna be pushing Kuza out of position, and well, you're a tank. Guess what? You're not. Blazing Duet not gonna do anything as absolute chaos unfolds in the base of RSGMY. Real world manipulation does not matter as Izanami is picked off. They do find Sasa, though. Currently one member of Team SMG down.